Welcome to another live trading session, traders. Thursday, 19th of March 2026. After the FOMC, we can see the market started to, it was little sideways before FOMC, like the day before FOMC, and we can see the market has had a very strong trend at the moment. And it's a good market for trading at the moment. If you guys look at, we have seen that there is a massive break of this support, and from the weekly it's still moving down here, and we could see that potentially further break below in this market. So looking for a few more positions to open in this live session. Hello, welcome. Thank you. And if you are ready for an entry, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. I would like to see all members are here. And when everybody is ready, we can begin analysis and also open position. Okay, so since if you looked at, we were in our NOI session, is there a trade active? We just have closed our running position with I think more than 120 pip in London session, and now we are waiting for another entry on NOI session. The market is trending. There is a predictable trending market structure that you can see here in that area. And in that predictable trending market, that looking for this market to eventually, cross this high and then to return back below. So looking at some areas here, this is now the market in a phase where it's in a trend, but at the same time it's consolidating, not like this kind of trend. So we may see that this kind of move may start. We had our previous trade in London session in this area, and I've been able to secure quite a few pip. It was a big one. Looking for more entry. Now here, if you look at the market is consolidating, going to do a complete multiple time frame analysis, and then we will be looking to see where we can find trading opportunity. So as usual, we will be looking at from triangular perspective. Okay, so we will be looking at technical, fundamental, sentiment, right? Technical, fundamental, and sentiment. So you can consider it as a whole, right? One is you need the technical aspect, you need the fundamental aspect, and you need the emotional aspect, right? And then you become complete. So that's where we are looking at. Now, if you look at the market from the technical, this is lower time frame, and from the lower time frame we are looking at here, this is downtrend that you can see the market is maintaining series of lower high and lower low, right? So you can see that it is in a downtrend without any question. So from the technical, we are looking at very lower time frame, but let's look at the daily. Now we are just halfway to the daily, right? And less than halfway, and we can see so far it has shown significant drop. Now I'm looking at this support. We might see slight reaction to that zone, which is not far, but it still have a space. So you'll be looking at any trade that you will be opening before this level will close at 4663 or before, and if the market break this low, go back up, and then we can look for sell again. So this is a falling market that you can see after this head and shoulder the market has dropped significantly. And also you will be looking at now the fundamental and also the tech sentiment. Now we see that technically From the daily is bearish. Looking at the now 1 minute and the lower time frame, I think 5 minutes looking better than any other time frame, because there is a consolidation and the market has broken back below this consolidation. The big question is, when will the downtrend end? It might take a little time, because if you look at the monthly, right, because quite a few factors here. Firstly, the monthly is in a pullback. You see that from this high, it's on a pullback. I'll give you also another indication of what might happen. So this is a pattern that you can recognize. It happens. So you see that, let me tell you, I was trading on all the time in live session. These two candlestick pattern, this is the war candle. So Russia-Ukraine war, when it begins, this candle form, right? So here is the candlestick pattern form, and once it form of this support, from this support, pre-war and during the war, and as soon as the war begin, after initial spike, it started to dip. And then how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of dip. The market has broken the support and then start to pick up. It was a massive move till 2026, right? Now it's on a pullback. So we might see now deeper pullback. Okay, so deeper pullback can be any zone here, right? So we are looking level by level. Monthly, it's in a pullback. So if you look at the weekly, here is also this kind of level. So if you look at the weekly here, there is a long week and the market has gone up. So usually traders, keep in mind that when you see that a market is moving, when it reach towards an area of imbalance, it normally goes beyond. This is how the market moves. So if you look at here, there is a gap open, gap open, gap open, and all those gap open basically left imbalance in the market. The market doesn't like to leave a gap. So therefore, because the gap open left imbalance, most likely this weekly move might, just a primary understanding, might have a different. The price might come back to nearly to 4,000 below this level, higher chance, and then it may start to bounce again back. So very high chance that the market will eventually at least to come back below this. Usually the price moves from liquidity to liquidity. So this is the previous high liquidity zone, 4271. So chances for to come back near this area here. All right. So, and then it might, move in a sideways, slowly bounce back up, because what is dropping is likely to drop. That's how it happens. So if you look at the daily, and this is the daily low. Now you see that there was a one single move on the daily from this all-time high to this low, and because the market is now dropping from this, we might see extend below like this and then could move up again. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to the lower time frame, because we found a bigger picture. That means that flow of the higher time frame is bearish. Now we are looking at to take that trend ride so that we can sell off this zone. It's interesting that gold has dropped during times of war, as it seems as a safe haven. However, oil prices, inflation have pushed it down. Yes. So let me tell you guys one thing. This is very crucial. You see that if you look at the ocean, okay, atmosphere, river, if you look at all of that and take all those water together, so the total summation of water in this whole ocean, atmosphere, river is constant, right? You cannot create a new water, or you cannot destroy the water like an energy. So similarly, all assets cannot go up at the same time. Imagine from your perspective, okay, let's say you have $5,000 to trade. Now either you trade gold, or you trade oil, or you trade currency, because you have the capacity of your trading account is limited. So that's why when something is going up, the other thing has to come down, because the total equity is limited, unless there is no unless, in fact it is, right? So that's where you can see that if you look at DXY now up, so there is more bullish move on DXY, and you can see that WTI is up, and also you might see that other, especially the energy, is going up, so the metal is coming down. Okay, simple way. And at the same time, it's a pullback, profit taking, because those who bought, all right, so if you look at here, the gold is now came to that level, right? So some investor, because it's all about liquid, those who bought gold now might be more interested on energy, so might be having some sell off, which doesn't mean that because gold is precious metal, guys. The demand for gold is universal. It's the safest haven. Why? Because all the central banks, almost all the central banks, has currency as reserve, as a gold also as their reserve, so which is a big thing. So this dip and happens during any crisis. This is how the market cycle. Now it is bringing again another opportunity for buyers, because if you look at gold price from the monthly, it was in fact unusually high. So this pullback is healthy. In a healthy trending market, there has to be a pullback. So you look at this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the fourth month, there was a narrow pullback. Now this one has gone very high. Okay, so if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 months, there wasn't any pullback. So now it's coming for a pullback, which is, if it was going up here, okay, that could be very unusual, because in that case, something cannot go up at all, right? It has to come down but if it becomes too overbought, it might be a sign of entire reversal, because if you see that anything reverse, it usually goes unusually high and then drop to the bottom. The higher it will go, the further it will drop. That's how it. But in a healthy trending market, if you look at here, it's dropping, which is potentially bringing an opportunity for the precious metal to be again available to buy. So therefore, regardless of either war or without war, it's an high demand metal, which is coming down, means that it's gonna be more attractive to the buyers again. And you see that during the crisis time, those instrument has dropped, they usually goes a lot later. Look at the past. During the pandemic, what dropped, it didn't stop there, it gone up. So therefore, once it's deepened further, it's gonna be a good asset or instrument to buy. Now at the moment we are selling as a trader, right? Because we as a as a metal trader or forex trader, we have also unusual advantage of both buying and selling, okay, regardless of the anything. If the market drops, we sell. If the market goes up, we buy. So as long as it's going in one direction, as long as you are managing the risk, that's all you need. Okay, now here, after this massive drop here, now we are looking at in this area some of the key levels that we want to see the market is testing and then giving us that entry. I'm waiting to buy a small lot for the long term. It is not a buying market at the moment. Okay, so you need to keep very because it's highly falling market. So if you look at the market is now creating that multiple liquidity sweep in that area. So as if you look at from this key level, okay, so this is a lower time frame trend line. The market is getting rejection of this, and here I'm looking at for a sell entry. As the market is coming down, we are looking at only to sell from the technically. So here, if you look at whenever the market is crossing this 20 EMA, it's getting rejection, and 30 minutes close that you can see also with a big red bear candle. It's in a downtrend, and with this downtrend, and if you look at here, this is the current trend line has broken above here from that, and it's coming to this support. Okay, so you see there is entire break of support. That's where looking for the market to eventually after this large bearish pin bar, we are looking at here is an imbalance, and with this lower time frame price action pattern here, that looking to see the market to eventually come down back below. Can you buy at 4663 support level? This is a falling market, guys. Not looking to buy. Trading with the trend is the most profitable trading system that one can ever have. So if you are looking for any profitable trading, the first step is to look for the trend. We see that pullback again, back above here. Thank you. There will be a big pullback. Tapping seller, since there has not been a pullback for sellers, how do you know it's not a bottom for pullback? There might be a pullback. Yes, I agree. And that's where the opportunity comes for a potential sell. And pullback is basically an opportunity to enter again, right? Because without pullback, entering is not a good idea. So what is nearest resistance level for gold selling? So we are looking at a couple of levels now, 4695, 4699 or below. Because the market is in a downtrend, we are looking at the best possible level for a sell. And if you look at this is the 30 minutes, this is the 5 minutes price action, which is before the candle close. So you can see it's forming a doji. So there is a rejection. That might be a deeper correction. So it might go back here to 4695 or around that zone, can give a higher possibility for this market again to trend. What is nearest? Okay, so we looked at that. And also now, you know, any entry that we will be taking, also we need a basis for it, right? We need a bias for it. And this is a drop. Here we can see the market has had this narrow area. We are looking at the market to eventually go back up and then to return again. Now, in addition, if we look at the some of the yesterday's, if you look at it was massive day for FOMC, and so the forecast was 3.75, the actual was 3.75. There isn't any so Fed just rate cut remains some of the news. There is not enough particular surprising from the Federal Reserve outcome. No change decision with a target range 3.5 to 3.75 with only statement. Okay. So some of the come on. If we look at the Fed's rate cut was yesterday's the biggest event, FOMC. And so if you look at the previous 3.75, forecast was 3.75 and actual is 3.75. So therefore, with the future indication, the market is trading now in that indication. If you look at, okay, so here is the drop that we can see, and the market is, you know, if you look at, it's keep pushing down, and we want to see that, because when the market drops very, very strongly, you could see that the market is, you know, breaking that low with an initial liquidity sweep. Now in this area, from this high here, the market is showing that significant break below here in that market. It entirely dropped back below with the current 15 minutes candle close. It's a bearish engulfer, and with a pullback, we'll be looking at for potential entry, and I'm prepared to entry as soon as it appears, potentially from this zone after this initial downside. Okay, so we might be entering shortly with as soon as it shows an entry. Okay, so if you look at here, the lower time frame, the market is strongly bearish here, and just been a candle close. Okay, so in this area, it's trying to push up for a pullback. Now, some of you had a question, of course, that if this market coming to the support, are you going to see that move up? Now, it also depends on volume. If you look at, now we saw the technical, let's look at fundamental as well as the sentiment. Now, fundamental is the FOMC, right? So we saw that with the FOMC is the current event that has, we saw there wasn't immediate rate cut or rate hike, right? So it's going back some of the important information that you can look at. So if you go to some of the recent news, just rate cut remains more likely than not. I believe in the productivity boom. Okay, so greater chance inflation is needed. Stationary time to round. So now with the indication for the potential rate cut, okay, the market is reacting to this level here again with the candle close. Probably I'm missing an entry that I would like to get in that in this area. It's a significant downside here. I'm looking for this short-term entry. Let's get ready for a possible setup, and then we will be discussing our previous setup that we have taken. This one successfully closed in profit. Now the market is actually in a, you can see that there is a significant move. Any scheduled news today? We see GBP news coming in 10 minutes, and then unemployment claim. So for the time being, we can see some kind of downside, and GBP news may not have very stronger confluence on gold market, but there will have some volatility. So you'll be, want to even use that trade volatility for entering and then taking the profit as soon as we see the market has moved in that direction. So if you look at the 1 hour candle close coming as well, the 15 minutes closed here, initial drop has shown that the market may move down here on this lower time frame. So the market is pushing back here of this, and it's on a retest. think it's bringing a possible opportunity for a short, and I am looking to sell here with 165 pip to 70 pip stop loss, keeping target below. You can be able to change later with full risk management, of course, because the market may just go ahead and just get some liquidity before it eventually drop down. So I have opened a sell. So fast trading. It's coming down here, and my trade is running in. As I mentioned, I'm a fast trader. We'll be taking profit as soon as we can see a decent number pip reached. All right, so here is I have opened my position, which is running in profit, and anytime once the market reach enough pip, I'll be giving a shout out. If I'm closing, it's just beginning. So you're running here 99 pip up, and awesome. 99 pip profit running, more than 100 now, and I'm taking profit now. I have closed my trade. Okay, so got it. First one, we'll be opening couple of positions in a row. Awesome. I'm out. This one took me 120 pip. We'll be opening more. Just beginning. Sit back and relax and take few pip. Say yes if you have taken that. If I see a feedback, then I will be looking for the next entry. But I'd like to see awesome. Thank you very much. Have you taken? If you have taken, say yes, and also make sure you like this stream. Join the Telegram channel for more. And if you haven't taken yet, also say yes for the next one, but with risk management, of course. Thank you very much. So today's two trades. One is in London, the other one is NY, and I'm sharing the group as well, in the premium group. Just confirm, guys, you have seen that. All right, so it's a fast one, but we will be looking for more. So today's two trades. Now this one, I got my entry was a bit of late, but that's fine. This is the first one in London session, and the second one is now. And I would like to take more later today. Now, this is also all those trades shared in the premium group. It's a simple strategy, guys, and it's simple, easy to trade. Just make sure that you're not taking trade without strategy and without understanding how the trade works. And also after each trade, the full breakdown of the strategy is being posted in the premium Telegram group, premium VIP group, so you can stay connected by joining. And also, if you haven't visited the website, you can do so. Join the free Telegram where you can learn and grow as a trader. Let's see what is next coming here. You can look at here. All right. Now, in this area that you can see here is from this resistance line. This is resistance line here, 4667, and you look at here, if the market is going back, going across this level 4667, we are looking at this market to eventually come down here again, right? We might see now another pullback here. I think initial move is possible here again. And let's look at the sentiment to understand that actually where the market is, why the market is going in the way it is going and where it is heading at the moment. Okay, so because this some of the current event is also important to look at when you are looking at the market. Right? Sorry guys. So the Trump, what's here? Trump, no more attacks will be made by Israel on South Pers field unless Iran decide to attack again Qatar. Okay, so there are some back and forth, but what I think here, this is this is where the first yesterday, if you look at gold start to drop off this, and the next who's the negative rate? S&P chairman sees increased likelihood for negative rates. Okay, and there's another one here, especially the war news is now moving the market. War has moved into new phase and may last several more weeks, Israeli officials say. So yeah, so we see that there has been new phase on the current Middle East war, and the market also is trading accordingly, right? We can see there has been significant shift in the market sentiment. Now this is where the sentiment. Now the sentiment is, if you look at bearish for gold and bullish for oil, and you can see the bullish for dollar index that you can see. And also we saw one news earlier on BUJ that I was looking at during my analysis. The rate hike is possible if the price trend is intact. So what BUJ want to say that if dollar yen trend remain up, then there is a potential for a rate hike. Okay, so we see that this is where now the market is coming for this move, deeper pullback. We'll be going through later because I'm looking for to take this one. So basically we see that there are some significant comment on this one about the trend and the rate hike. All right, so what's your thought on the current market condition, guys? Let us know in the live chat. And I think there are more here. So there's another one here about the oil market. So this one is, I think it's gonna also have a very, very important significance in it, because if you look at that, there is some kind of indication that, if let's say Iran doesn't attack, then probably no more attacks coming from the other side. So that might be one indication for, especially for the purse field. So it's talking about not the overall but the energy side. So this is one that's where we can look at the energy price. So if we see that there's further attack coming from, for example, from Iran, then we might see that energy price might go up, because then there is a likelihood of this to happen. So secondly, what we can see that the negative rates, we'll see that how it might impact. But overall, at the moment, we see that with the FOMC statement, the market is trading accordingly for possible rate cut. I think that's where sitting at. And now there's another war has moved into the new phase and may last several more weeks. So this is also another big point, that if several more weeks war remain, then the likelihood of the market to move, especially if you look at DXY, might remain bullish. In that case, we can see there is a consolidation on DXY. Now, this is the daily market. Yesterday, we saw that after this bullish candlestick pattern, the market now on a pullback. But DXY looks showing that there is stronger bullish trend, and that is basically pushing also the gold market in the bearish trend. And therefore, from the sentiment that you have seen so far and the fundamental, we can conclude that as we are trading gold is bearish. So we are looking at only on sell. You guys see there's a sudden drop here as well, right? So this is what we are looking at. Thank you very much. Have you liked this stream? Thank you. Also, make sure you also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. All right, so we are progressing towards a busy session. So we are doing, thank you very much. Market down by the war now. Most high budget people interested in energy. Yes, so you can see there is the potential for energy sector to be pretty expensive now, at least for short term. And at the same time, gold is historically it's a precious metal, so that pullback might bring in both direction a potentially further bullish confluence here in that market. All right, so it's keep pushing down, and we have taken the trade probably a bit earlier, but that's fine. We will be re-entering again. No limit to enter as long as we are trading with the trend, and that's what we are looking at for the next move to take on. Just take a breath, okay? Take a deep breath and ready for the next one. Have a music to settle you down a little bit, and then we'll be going to the next one. Thank you. Market driven by the war. Okay, so hi guys, hope you are well. Thank you very much. We are well. I feel gold is going to go lower based on the war situation, which is leading to more sell-off out of fear. Also, if you look at the chart, there is a strong area of rejection at around 4403. I think your analysis, I like that analysis. That's good. It's basically most of, during this kind of crisis, more of fear-based trading is more, which is very normal, especially when there is a natural disaster or war in those cases. But this is, as a smart trader, if you really smart trader, you have to keep your focus. Okay, keep in mind that an expensive, for example, metal, when it drops, it actually doesn't become inexpensive. It becomes again opportunity to buy again. All right, so this is what we will be looking at, that the market in a pullback. So it's basically becoming, but not now because it's on a downtrend, right? So we are short-term trader, but keep eye for when the market will be prepared for another move up. So it is, in fact, what I would say that even if it is a fear-based sell-off, but it's on a pullback. Okay, so which is in a this is a natural rhythm of the market, that the market will, after a big move, it needs to come down for a pullback. So therefore, here we are looking at for this for the market to eventually, whenever we will see the breakup structure, we will be looking to sell. And we are trading on lower time frame. If you look at the 1 minute, it's a pretty predictable trend, and you can see that when we sold off this level, the previous trade that I have shared with you guys, also we sold off, I think, where is the level? This level, this one. Okay, this is our London session trade, and that's where we are looking at whenever the market is going to this key area, we are looking at to sell off. Okay, so here is the key area of value that you can see, which is the recent level of resistance line. They're expecting the market to potentially to retest and then to return again back. So you can see that lower time frame market structure showing that this is the 5 minutes candlestick pattern. Now for the next entry, guys, as the market is trending, so if you look at, this is how I look at the market. So you see that starting, and I'll be deleting these labels here again, as we have secured our first trade, and also I'd like to register that on the chart. I think we have done on the scoreboard. So now if you look at this 5 minutes price action, right, from this level here, this is the 5 minutes market. So you look at this from this here. Okay, so what do you see? That all those 5 minutes candlestick pattern hasn't broken any of this previous one's high, right? It's now, this is how you can look at the market in all aspect. Did you like this? Make sure you like it to 20 now. All right, so it can be on 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 4 hour, guys. This is the strategy that you're going to apply over and over again. You can repeat it. When you see this such a big drop without breaking anyone's high, so there are some trailing happening here, right? Some trader are trailing this move. So if you look at who sold here, brought his stop loss, and then brought his stop loss, and so trailing, some trader trails, and therefore above those candlestick pattern there is a massive amount of liquidity or the volume. Now once any candle will break the previous one's high and then little lower, the market may still go up. Okay, that's why we will be waiting for a candle close passing that low. That means weaker response from the buyer, so you can sell again. That's an incredible way to trade the market. So you have leveled that zone, and you see that if this one is going straight back up, it's an opportunity to sell again. It might not go. If you look at here, it's in a falling market, but at some point you see this kind of break happen. Here is also it happened, and you open that position, you see. So wait for this kind of pattern to happen. Wait for this, like the V shape or A shape, to break the key level, and then to trend the market. Okay, trade the market. That's why here you can see the market didn't go there. It's start to drop. We are patient here. We're waiting for that to happen. Structure broken minimum. Yep. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for this information. Welcome. No problem. We are, this is our job here, trading every single day, and trading the market in the best way possible. And not only this, traders, we have a community where also we are trading. I have also you have a premium group where also trading every single day, posting charts, members feedback. Great way to trade in 2026. If you haven't checked out the link, you can find below this video. You can visit the website as well for more updated education as well as analysis, and also join the free Telegram where you can find the regular update. I do share some of the trade ideas just before the market moves, so that those who are following can have an idea and information. So join the free Telegram, also I have given here. Thank you. Okay, so it's breaking to the upside here, and that break what we are looking at for entirely to go up to the key level. And we will be having also unemployment claims coming in few minutes. So if you look at the calendar here, and so unemployment claims on dollar and British pound US dollar. So there is already, I think it's gone. We have looked at MPC official bank rate report 0009. Okay, forecast was 027. So official bank rate remains steady, I think. Yeah, same as bank rate maintained 3.75%. So Bank of England to see tide as news to conflict turn up inflation hit. So you can see here in this area, the market after this break above, it's slowly coming down back. So this can, yeah, absolutely. If anyone want to join by crypto, you can do so. You can contact the website live chat, or you can find more chat option in the description of this video, where you can go to the chat option, and then you can chat with an admin to give you the access to the group. So the market here is trying to break this low. If you look at a narrow doji has formed. So there's a 5 minutes, if you look at here, a liquidity sweep, and I think there might be now slide back below from that zone. Okay, so the market is struggling to break this support here in that area, and with this drop, if we see now the market to break any of this key level, we are looking for entry. Now This is the nearest key level that you can see resistance, and also there is a resistance here. And from that resistance, that looking for this market to eventually go to that zone. Are you guys ready for this entry? Another one. Can we get to 4500? Very possible. The market is, in fact, okay, so you can see the market here, here in that zone. Okay, so you can see some questions came up. So key levels, lower time frame. I have one member just had a question that how to draw the key level. So let's look at, while we are looking for an entry here in that area. So to trade the key level, okay, the first thing that we need to understand, you can draw key level at multiple time frame, right? You can draw key level higher time frame and also trade on lower time frame. You can draw key level on daily time frame, and also you can draw key level on the lower time frame. So the key level usually is a swing, let's say in a downtrend. All right, now in a downtrend there is a pullback, right? Pullback is not a key level, it's a swing high. But at some point you see that the market has managed to break that key level. Okay, so if you look at the market has, if you look at that, broken the previous breakup structure, that is key level. So what do I mean? Let's draw that on a chart. So if you look at now, let's say this is a downtrend, creating series of lower high and lower low. These are not key levels. But if you see this and then drop again back below, all right, so this is where, all right, so this is key level. All right, now if you look at here, this is key level. Now how do you know it's a key level? So resistance line here, and because the market has already broken this swing level in the past, okay, and because the market has broken the swing level in the past, that's a key level. Now if we want to draw key level in this whole move, the key level will be this one. And if the market breaks again the same level, that's a selling opportunity. Now if you look at here, the reason I draw here, because you see this is a swing high, the previous one. Here I did not mark it as a level. The one that has broken the swing high and then dropped down, that's a key level. That's clear to you. Thank you very much. Now this is where the market, if you look at, it's now in a consolidation in this area, right? So with this consolidation, they're expecting the market to potentially, if we see that break here, that we will be looking at that entry. Before we look at the next entry, after we have secured our first trade, I'm looking at also what is happening next here in that area. If you look at the DXY is having a pickup here that you can see. After this pullback, the market is approaching back above here on DXY again. So if you look at here, daily. Now daily move, if you guys looked at, also we discussed when the market was here on DXY that didn't think that DXY might be dropping back below here because the nature of the price action is bullish. So this, if you look at this daily, this 4 days move, that you can see this 4 days move is basically strong bullish confluence that you can see, right? And with this confluence with the daily movement in DXY, if you look at, it's a full body candle close, and because with the full body candle close, it has volume in it, and we saw that this pullback basically created another opportunity for the market to bounce again back in that area. So with this daily bullish engulfer here, the market may eventually, chances that the price will go back again to the upside here. So if DXY is going up, then as a mirror or gold, we see that there is a downtrend here in that market. And that's what you can see. And yeah, so here is the 5 minutes move, narrow doji. Now it might go for a pullback again because it's very strongly falling market. We are seeing that the pullback is becoming very narrow, which is happening in a strongly trending market. And also with the recent the data that we have seen with the fundamental and the sentiment is basically showing that DXY is going to be bullish potentially, therefore gold might be coming down here. Now if there isn't any more sudden high impact news or breaking news, during yesterday's, if you looked at our live session, that you have seen suddenly the market start to break out, and that's where you saw the sudden breakout on the market, and that is still, we see that continuation in that direction. So with this week, as we discuss, if you look at a full of interest rate, which is usually makes the market pretty volatile, and that makes more and more trading, opening position. We have opened quite a few positions that you guys have seen because of this volatility, which is usual volatility is very important for trading, right? You need volatility, otherwise the market trends when the market is volatile, not highly volatile, but usual volatility, right? And the current volatility is, I would say that it's normal for trading. However, unless some of this news again coming to very abruptly, always keep eye before you open position, especially if you are a short-term trader like me. Then high impact news is essential to look at, because for example, you just open a position and then suddenly there is a big news came and it's not going in your favor, mostly potentially because of sudden high impact news. Okay, so we have some of the I think it's social truth. was going to say, okay, so Trump says Qatar was in no way involved in that. Okay, so some of the things. So for example, you see about the current situation on Qatar. So I think some energy site has been attacked, and that could be a major influence for the energy market now to become very unstable. If you look at the natural gas, do you trade natural gas? I think it's XAUUSD, right? Silver also getting pretty down. It's not on my list. NGUSD, yeah, natural gas. So what is on natural gas? Choice to invite. Oh, what's going on? XNGUSD, right? Okay, natural gas. So this is index, right? And yeah, so natural gas index is very high. If you look at, that's pretty stronger movement that you can see. And if you look at the monthly, okay, so you see the daily with the US dollar spot. If you look at, here is, okay, so with the dollar that you can see it's showing sideways is because of with the dollar is bullish. Okay, so if you look at the current market structure on XNGUSD, you can see that it was in a downtrend and now it's showing here bullish. So especially if you look at the index, that you can understand it is usually in a downtrend, but you see there is a stronger breakout here. Natural gas is even stronger than you can see that bullish than oil, right? So if you look at the WTI, okay, WTI was in a downtrend and then breakout showing an uptrend, but okay, natural gas index was massively bullish quite a few weeks. Now we can see there is basically it is in a zone. It should be coming for a pullback. I think it's giving now new fuel for further move. Here is, if you look at here, you see there is a potentially an inverted head and shoulder formation. So when you see that in the middle of the trend, inverted head and shoulder is potentially for further move. If you look at the monthly, this is, I think, it's 2014 reached that level. Come on, here's 2022. So this move was Russia-Ukraine war. It crossed that high. Now we can see that it's going back to the last high it reached here in 2014. I don't know why 2014 was so high on natural gas price. There wasn't nothing happened in 2014, right? So 2008 was here, and then with the recession it dropped. So now it's going, I think it's may pass 2014 high. So you keep eye for that, and because whenever if you are trading on natural gas, but it's gonna basically have the same impact on WTI, gas, all of them, because they are energy. Okay, so while you can see that gold is coming down back below. Okay, we see there is 1 minute candlestick pattern formation, which is a bearish engulfer that you can see here. Now, this 30 minutes candlestick pattern that you can see after this candle close form a pretty narrow doji. And in the meantime, also traders, I would like to ask you a question. I hope that you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also let us know what's your view on gold, where it might be going, and what level you think that buyer might start to buy again, the market will go up. With now 2 5 minutes doji formation, this is now again bearish. You might find another entry here. So this is, if you look at here, there is a large pin bar with this liquidity sweep. The market has broken back below. Therefore, that you can see the market to eventually come even further low to test that zone. I think that is a little bit because I have few trades that I need to look at. Okay, so silver is down almost 9%. Gold also down a lot, that you can see. Okay, so you can see the gold also down. So it's silver and gold usually follow like cousin. Okay, they move almost in the same direction. Okay, so silver and gold, they follow each other, and that's why I normally, unless you are a long-term investor, I prefer to trade gold than silver because they move almost in the same direction. Slight different in volatility sometime. If you look at the monthly chart, you see the similar kind of price action. Has been a drop, slight back below. Okay, coming down here in that area, and excited to open another one. Let's keep pushing down here. So you're looking at what data came out here? 205K. So unemployment claims was pretty low than forecast. So it is another good news for DXY. So that might have given DXY, we see there is a pullback, but that has, so basically if you see that anything coming good for DXY, gold usually come down because they mirror each other. Now, low unemployment claims is so far. Usually when you see the data, higher unemployment claims means that there is uncertainty, there is a lack of a strength in economy, which usually makes gold expensive. So this is how, sometimes it becomes very difficult to keep all this in mind and to understand actually how this data is going to impact the market. So simple way, like head and tail, keep in mind any data that might indicate weakening on economy or job market, usually bullish for gold. That's how you can remember, right? Because otherwise you need to sit down with a big like a pie chart to find out which one is coming to correct, which is more often you see that may not be even exactly coming in the right direction. Because have you heard of the butterfly effect? So you see that most of the things that in this universe is very, very chaotic and very difficult to predict. We think that we have some statistics and we can look at and then find out what is going to happen, but in fact very unpredictable. Okay, something very predictable can be very unpredictable based on many things. Okay, so for example, if you look at, that a candidate, for example, in a country have a very high popularity. That candidate is going to be very confident. There was a huge statistics pool pre-election that he's 90% going to be winner before the election, right? And there's a lot of research and it's sure that he's going to be winner. But just before election, suddenly there has been, let's say, a drought. Okay, and due to the drought, crops didn't produce proper results. Suddenly price of goods increased dramatically and everyone was unhappy. So maybe the candidate lose its vote, maybe is going to the other direction. So there's some unforeseen factors can be contributor that even we don't know. Not only that, okay, the tire puncture that you have in your car also have many other unforeseen factors that might contribute in the outcome. So therefore, not knowing is the best knowing. Thank you very much. So it was down 9%. Hello, sir. Do you use Haken's Ashi candle? Sometime I look at. Sometime. But what is the most effective way to trade the market? That's the question, right? We have traded quite a few. Today we had 2 trades. It's not a big one, but and I would say that it's not also a small one. This my entry was late with the next one because I am on the live session. Well, you guys have better entry than me, but the goal here is to it's more of creating, like, looking at how you can rewire your brain for entering those kind of trades over and over again, right? Okay, how about entering another trade? This is now in a very significant downtrend here. Okay, Bison is in gold, sir? No, not at all, guys. Did you like this stream? I see the likes is almost 1/3. We had win 2 trades, but still the likes is not going up. So if the likes goes up to crossing 30, you might be find another entry. So I'm looking to see that everyone is smashing the like button. Let's have a music and prepare for another entry. Okay, thank you. It's moving up. Okay, so you see there is an initial breakover structure. There might be here an entry. So the 15 minutes candlestick pattern is moving here, back up, Okay, so it's moving up. That is where looking for, if you look at the 4 hour, that has been significant move, and a 1 hour candlestick pattern also closing in 4 minutes. So also you can see that pretty long week candlestick pattern form, and I think that there was a massive drop here. There might be pullback coming, but in such a strongly falling market, and I think that it is still a very high chance for to remain downside, because if we look at some of the segments, so if you look at these segments and quite a few segments, that you can see where is in a very strongly in a downtrend. So now 5 minutes price action. After this green candle formation, the market is now trying to break that low. Now one very important thing, guys, this is a common sentiment, especially with retail trading, tendency to buy from the low, or whenever the market just started to move, try to catch early trend. But in fact, it is a good idea is to, not to strive for to catch an early trend, but to trade with the trend. It's the best way to do that. There might be here, if you look at from this support level, might be moving back to the upside here. That moving to the upside could be an opportunity for us to sell, in fact. With the market in relation to the higher time frame, so the question, are you going to see the market is going back here, which is one hour, which is a 30 minutes resistance line. Okay, so with this break above, it's has shown that the trend to continue. we're getting ready for another entry as soon as. And from this high here, it's breaking that low. Now it rejected off this key level. You see that it created 3 waves and then rejected. So that is why it's talking about that whenever the market goes up is an opportunity to sell. Now the reason we didn't sell, we saw that on the third wave it dropped, and you'll never know that in what wave exactly it's gonna drop. But once it dropped, because it gained momentum here, now if we see the price action confirmation here, because we don't want to enter in the middle, we want to see now a price action form and then to enter. We have opened 2 trades today. There will be a lot of opportunity, but we don't want to take all of them. Like in this live session we have open one, and in the previous session also we have open one in the premium group. Now at this point, because the market has dropped to this low, created a new lower low, has formed this swing low here, looking for, now you see this significant drop, we look for this straight pullback and then to enter. Thank you very much. Looking at daily here, now the market is on the daily, that's showing after this. So there was a massive drop, one green candle in the middle has created this structure. Now 1 hour candle close also, with this 1 hour candle close, as that there is a long wick at the bottom, there's a chance for this market to eventually come. Now the recent 1 hour candle close, in just 3 minutes time the market has dropped that far. So if the market going back to 4571 or near there, we can look for now potential sell, because the market has dropped, it's created a new area of value here, right? So this is a neckline, there was a false breakout here. So if you look at, it's a false breakout, and going back to that zone can be an opportunity to sell. We are looking at here. Okay, I'm preparing for an entry of this zone. Once, if the market goes up for another retest, okay, so with this move, it straight gone here back to that level that we are discussing. Now I'm preparing for an entry. We will keep the stop loss potentially above this high. So the market is pretty volatile, so we need a bit of wider stop loss. And this is the second trade that I'm looking at to enter of this, keeping stop loss above this high. To be target here on this support. Group and sell here in that area, and of this level that looking for this market to eventually come back below here to this support. And I'm on the trade, and I believe you guys also. The second trade for the day, we have opened in that zone for this potential drop down, and it can go in any direction, and I have fully managed the risk. So in case the market going back up, we'll be taking the loss. That's fine. Here the goal is to take the initial move back below to the support level. Okay, so if this 1 minute candle is breaking down back below, that's gonna be good move, because with this double top, if entirely market breaks below, we can expect it to come down to this support here. So yes, if you are on this trade with me, 460 pip, they're expecting at least to 200 pip. I would like to see how many yes coming. Thank you very much. What is it on a Euro USD? We'll be looking at, it's a sell trade. It's a sell trade. Okay, thank you. Second trade for the day. The first one we have one, and we have won the first one 122.20 pip. The day market move, we can take more nearly to 200 pip move running with me. Anytime I'm closing, also I'm giving a shout out here, guys. So make sure that you keep eye for that. Awesome. It's coming down here in that zone. Cool. Let it drop and let it drop, let it drop. And I'm taking it profit right now. Boom, profit taken. Okay, profit taken here. Awesome. Trading is easy, isn't it? Just you need some education, guys. That's all you need. Some education, and this is the best way you can create an incredible passive income that can change your life. You see, simple. This is the third trade and I have taken in front of you in this live session, right? So I have sold at 4547. My entry was a little late. We have done that, and I taken profit at 4532.29, so which is nearly approximately how many pip? 100 and then 150 pip, more than 150 pip. So I'll record as 150 pip. Pip, right? Pip is what you need as a trader. You're excited to get some pip and 2 trades today. The market is moving, and why shouldn't we look at the move? Thank you. All right, so got it? Now, thank you. Welcome. I made some profit. Welcome. So I guess a big time recession is coming, and this would be the final bottom for gold. What are your insight? I wouldn't say still final bottom. You know, I'm a trader, and here I just give my opinion, and also we share our thought. Okay, so what I think, you know, I might be wrong or could be wrong, or the market may not do it exactly, but I think gold might cross 4274 and then could reverse, or, you know, after that what will happen, that we have to look at. But at this point I'm looking at 4406 first to test or break, and then to test or break 4328 and then lower. After that anything can happen, whether it might drop or may continue to rise. But at the moment we see that there is a significant potential for the market to remain its downtrend here. So this trade that I have taken, if you look at, let's analyze the trade. It's important that, guys, also you pay attention to the education. Okay, one trade, winner loser doesn't matter, but if you get that correctly, you can learn it, grow it as a trader. So if you look at, this is an important, this is a support which is turning resistance, and support turn resistance, and there is a head and shoulder, and off that head and shoulder the market drop, pull back to the neckline, and that's what I was planning when the market was here. If you remember, guys, I didn't take this trade when it was going up, though we saw that it is a falling market, we should be selling. But when the market was going for this pullback, we don't know where it's gonna end, but when it ends, it start to drop, then we know that it dropped now on a pullback. So that's a second move, has given more confidence for us to take that down move here on gold. Thank you. That was great trade, Mr. Wizard. Next time you trade, I will definitely follow. Yes, one thing keep in mind, traders, sometimes the trade doesn't go in our favor. So every time do the lot size calculator, always do the lot size calculation. If you don't have a lot size calculator, then also you can download one from your student dashboard on the website where you can access everything. Also now all those courses on the website currently available on the Telegram group, where also you can find at the top, pinned at the top, if you are on the premium Telegram. If you're on the free Telegram, also there is more often promotion given on the free Telegram to join. You guys can check all of that. Okay, so I have given the free Telegram link where you can join, and regular analysis update is given on the free Telegram. Now the market is coming down here. We taken 2 trades, and let's see what is now current context in terms of the sentiment, geopolitics. I'm good with technicals. The only thing that I'm concerned is psychology of the market. How can I make it better? Okay, so I would say that if you are good at technical, then you are more than halfway. The rest is psychology, and also understand what drives the market. Okay, not only the technical, also look at the sentiment and fundamental. For the psychology, it's all about exposure. There is a term called exposure therapy. I don't know. It's a kind of exposure, that's all. Okay, so you can directly join. You don't have to join through the broker. You can directly join. We have the website. No problem. You can join, and you can directly use the admin chat to find out the alternative way to take on the board. Okay, we have few, like the community that I keep, because for me quality is more important than quantity. Okay, we trade and we want to keep winning, high win rate, maintain. That's our key goal. So to help our members and also traders in the community, you guys, for those who are watching this live session, everyone. Now what we are looking at here now for the psychology, exposure. Okay, more and more experience. Trade on live, even if it is smaller, will give you more understanding about how the market works. So we covered most of those. Now you can see in this area here, it's on a now in a narrow zone. You will be looking for that further entry. Okay, now with this we are almost halfway, like going towards the NY session, also going with the London session. Now with these two sessions running together, the volatility again rises. Here you can see the market is now pushing up for this pullback again, and the market has reached that zone where from this support again, I think it's gonna ready for another sell. And I have someday I trade quite a few. Today the market is moving and I might open few more. Please give me the link. Okay, so you can find directly on the website. So if you visit the website, you can find link below this video. I can share here. And once you are on the website, just scroll down and then click join now. So I've shared the premium VIP program website, where you can visit the website and you can scroll down below, then click join now button. So one of, like, currently we have few spots to take on the mentorship, might get closed for some period of time, so it's still open. I think it's a good time to hone your trading skill to take it to the next level. It's no better time than now to trade ever. Okay, so as on Thursday, right? And usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, these are 3 days are pretty high volume trading days. And now this is a market. You can see after this move, it's now potentially preparing for another drop. The price is going to, this is the key level. One of you asked in the past about the key level. This is the key level. There is another one here. So the market is approaching to another key level, and we might be able to find another entry shortly after. So we have successfully closed today 3 trades on our day trading group. We have also our robot group, and if you haven't joined yet to those, you can check out more. So we are almost end of this session, and it was an incredible trading session with all of you guys. When you have more trade, keep on your trading account. Sometimes listen loud music. It's good for your heartbeat. Yes, there's quite a few high impact news. Thank you, and I'm ending this session. Tomorrow coming on live again in the same time, and I would like to see you guys there trading. Until that, stay